From shapes and colors to sad beige and grey that is our modern world's palette. Everything from our fashion to devices and cars to interior and exterior of buildings used to be so colorful and fun. But what happened? Why is everything so bland and boring now? And what does it mean to be alternative in a world like this? Hello, my name is Viveka, and as you can tell by the title and the intro, in this video I want to talk about how the world that has gotten so grey and so bland and so boring affects people's lives, but more so, what does it mean to be alternative when it's like this? And how we can express ourselves, how we can express our beliefs. I assume most of us are aware that the world is rapidly losing its color, and we've seen examples of that. We've seen the picture of that one McDonald's building circulating online. Also the post-pandemic fashion trends like clean girl, like we all know by now. Because the pandemic was probably the last time people could actually express themselves without the fear of being judged, without the fear of being left out from the society. I won't be the first person to tell you how that came to be. Obviously, the rise of conservatism, especially in the USA, and as much as us non-Americans hate what happens in America affects the rest of the world. Other than that, the other biggest culprit of this issue is the rise of capitalistic mentality, which actually correlates to the rise of conservatism. People are losing their individuality. Stores that are of the same type are selling the same things, same microtrend products that will end up in landfills in a few months or in the never-ending pile of random stuff in the thrift stores. Do people even like the clothes they only buy because an influencer they see on Instagram wore something similar on their story? I don't think so. It's just what is popular. It's just what gets them the most views on TikTok and most comments asking, "Where did you get your shirt?" Which then they will reply with their Shein discount code. It goes without saying, in the modern-day society that revolves around money and power, it's not a shock that there's a loss of visual variety. And I feel like we could correlate that to brands choosing quantity over quality to appeal to masses. They go with the safest option that they can then mass produce and sell to many people. Because these massive corporations who aim for more and more money have realized one thing. No matter how terrible quality a product is, no matter how boring or bland it is, people will buy it. Because they feel the need to buy it. As much as I hate to idealize the past, it wasn't always like this. Just a few years ago, like, I'm a younger Gen Z, and even my first laptop was pink, like 8 or 9 years ago, I think. Because everything we owned had variety in color and shape and patterns and textures. Of course, I have to say that the past wasn't perfect. The harmful mindsets the society in the past had was the reason how the alt subcultures formed, with punk in the 70s, post-punk or goth in the 80s, and riot girl and grunge in the 90s. These subcultures are heavily involved in politics. They express themselves through music and sometimes fashion. When we look at the said community's fashion choices, we see an overpowering black and dark colors, especially in the goth community, which isn't a surprise considering in the 80s where everything was more colorful and the clothes were more colorful. Goths were to stand out wearing their messy black clothes, chains that they got from hardware stores, as well as the darkest shade of green eyeshadow they could find. While the modern trad got fashion, as well as clothing that's associated with other alt subcultures like punk or grunge, are still standing out in the society, there is something that stands out even more, and it's individuality. I know it's weird because, like, every single goth person you see on TikTok looks the same, and it's weird, like, Why do we all look the same when it's a subculture about expressing our beliefs through a fashion statement? As much as I would like to give tips, I feel like on being yourself, I don't think that's something that I can give advice on, but to guide you through the way, I will say implement bold colors in your goth outfits. Do DIY fashion projects. Use accessories that you didn't see anyone else wear with like an alternative dark outfit. And do stuff because you like it, not because it's the most trending thing between alternative people on TikTok. Because in a world so boring and monotone, to be yourself unapologetically is to rebel.